G'day, Aaron here, Rustic Traders, here to show off another bike that I scored just recently. Another Malvern Star, popular brand. I've told you the story of Malvern Star before. 1903, Finnegan won 240 gold sovereigns, started the company. 25 or 1927, Bruce Small bought it, turned it into the giant company that it is today. But anyway, what we have here is a rare variation on a 1939 one star. Okay, I just got it as a frame, forks and bits. I mean, it's most of a bike except for the wheels, really. Came from a deceased estate in Gympie. Who knows how long it's been buried for. Just to show the front, in 1939 is when they started their system of 1 star up to 5 star. Before that, they were all basically, they just had a star in the lug there and a star in the lug there. There was no 2 star or anything at the time. But in 1939, they started their tier system. So the one was essentially the base model, but still a very, very good utility bicycle. Now, plenty of you would have seen a 1 star with having 1 groove either side, and I think I may have even done a video like that on one of those. But this one has 2 grooves. And so far, I've never seen one like that. The people I've sent it to, including Warren Mead, the Malvern Star expert, shout out Warren if you're watching this, hasn't seen it before either. He confirmed the date of 1939. You can see it's got they call these keyhole lugs for an obvious reason. Don't know if that's what they were called in their day, but that's what they are referred to now, keyhole lugs. You can also see the flat cones in the headset in the head tube for the headset. Later on, they're rounded. We've talked about that. These early ones, it's flat. Also, something about these headsets, if you've ever had to work on them. Later ones, they turned it into a hex bolt, which is great because then you just need a spanner or a shifter. These early ones are round, so you actually need this little 2-prong tool, or, as I did for years, bodge up a tool to get them out. And sometimes they don't want to come out. Then you have to get the vice grips or the multi-grips into them to loosen those up. The bearings are Imperial. So non-metric, very hard to find nowadays. So that's rare in itself. Now the other thing that makes this really rare is these, what I've seen called Continental dropouts. So Oppie, or Hubert Opperman, who was Malvern Star's world champion cyclist in the late 20s, 30s, they knighted him, I'm pretty sure, Sir Hubert Opperman. And Malvern Star still brings out a bike today called the Oppie in the name of Opperman. But anyway, he went over to Europe and they had, as the latest thing back then, these new Continental dropouts. I think the forward-facing dropout was actually first invented in France sometime before 1930. So he wanted to try it, wanted to bring it back. These ones got the little scallop shape on the end. I've only ever seen one other bike online that has had these Continental dropouts, as they were calling them. So here's my first one having the Continental dropouts and having the 2 bars, the top and bottom on the front there. So very interesting, very rare it seems. And these early ones too, you can see everything was made a little better. The dropout is actually brazed in. We've talked about this before on later bikes. It's just simply all pressed. It's all one piece of metal that's just pressed for ease and speed of manufacturing. This most likely, just about guaranteed, would have had a BSA chainring crankset on it originally with BSA pedals. Would have been all BSA fittings probably. Even I doubt that the stem and handlebars on this bike would be original. Possibly had a Taylor stem, if you know those, major Taylor stem. Another feature is later on the stars were a part of the crown, where these earlier ones, the star, they must have put the crown there, then they would have had to have brazed in the star separately, because the star doesn't actually touch the sides, so it's a separate thing. And also, same as the back, the dropouts are brazed in. On your more modern ones, it's all just one pressed thing. It's not in great condition, but I mean, 70 years old, even older. Was it 90 years old, something like that, 85 years old. Extremely old bike. A keeper, definitely a keeper, unless someone forces my hand to sell it with copious amounts of money or something like that. But I thought I'd show it off for posterity, so that if anyone else finds them out there, we can start, because as far as I know, I've seen two of these 1 stars with Continental dropouts, and both of them were different to each other actually. So maybe there's more out there. Love to know that they're out there. Anyway, stay tuned. Show you more videos, more bikes and other stuff.